just sharing some of me as how are people supposed to get to know me if I give you no information on how to know me, apart from people that have claimed to know me make their uneducated, biased suggestions. Yes, I have found myself in places where I probably shouldn't have been. I've always been an inquisitive soul. For some reason, always been attracted to the dimly lit side of the street. I have worked with people my whole life. I have worked with security. I installed alarm systems, CCTV, monitoring hardware and software. And that was my trade. I am a journeyman in that trade. Structured wiring, security, CCTV, home automation, home cinemas. Obviously, the training in America, because America is, quite populated to say the least. And the diversity there is amazing in itself. You can go from state to state, and some states it's like you're going to another country. Belgrade, Florida, it's all sugar plantations now. A lot of migrant workers. The big lake Okeechobee with massive catfish that are 70 years old because it's been there for so long. The brilliant storms with the lightning, Florida being one of the lightning capitals of the world, has some absolutely jaw-dropping, inspiring, dazzling strikes of sound and light. Standing in 85 degrees weather on a clear night with the moon full shining bright, the stars glistening in everybody's eyes. Me, oh my, what a wonderful life, the simple pleasures that nature has to offer. When we visit places we haven't been before, it's not about the signs, the sounds, and the party. It's not about, well, not fully about the historic trip. The times that had passed by on that same location many, many years ago. The life that engaged the day that engaged the night, the disputes and arguments that still go on today. Just a different time, a different reign. But what do you know if you don't know? You know only what you've learned and what you've judged and what you've seen in your own eyes. You can't deny. In our dreams we fly. We drive a juggernaut. We escort. The amazed, the amazing, the people and things you may only see in your mind unless you have that opportunity to travel, that opportunity to walk the trails, watch the birds in their synchronatic ways, the bees, the flies, the ducks, the swans, the quails, the snails, the bears, the wolves, the kitty cats cleaning their plate every time. Some of our best mates, our animals, our fur babies, our adopted kin, where we had been there since the beginning, and fear the day we may lose because of foolish errors and foolish ways and manipulated being allowed to be manipulated because of a habit, an addiction, if you will. But if you put habit and addiction together, you'll find you're addicted to a lot of things. Someone once told me that addiction and just being a lush are two different things. Now, being addiction, you could drink one time or you could do a drug one time in a year and all kinds of problems arise because you were high or drunk. That's addictive behavior. That triggers addictive behavior. Now, a lush will go out all night, get drunk off their ass, fall over a table or two, make a fool of themselves, then laugh about it in the morning. That's not an addict. That's not an alcoholic. It's just someone releasing, letting go. It's our show, this life of ours. We direct it as we will. But we try not to hold on to other people's moans and whines and, well, things you don't want to. Selective hearing comes into play, if I may say. Hooray, 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 hooray. So a man walked into a bar, walked up to a horse and said, "Why the long nose?" I'm not stupid, I'm not silly, I held on to beep, 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 beep. So, this guy's been driving all night. He's trying to get to location B from location A, and he's trying to get there in one foul swoop. But he had been driving for 13, 15 hours. And his will to drive just became unwilling. He sees a billboard by the highway. It says, "Your last chance ladies bar. Come on in." He's like, "Oh, I've seen nothing but lines on the road. I wouldn't mind a change of scenery." He's got his little black cat riding with him, named Poppy, or Mr. Pop Pops as it came out to be, because when Poppy first came home, Poppy was supposed to be a little girl. I suppose he was so young we could never tell, because a month or so down the line, something went pop, pop. And he's now from Poppy to Mr. Pops. So he somewhat kept his name, and he's a boy. And then he had them swiftly chopped off. So he's now Mr. No Pops, Mr. Sack, Pop Sack, Popcorn? I don't know. This is what happens when you have a bit of a time of not speaking to anyone and having a conversation with myself through a camera. And I do go back and watch these videos at another time. Got to know myself. I'm going through a serious thing right now. Serious crime that I was dragged into. I was held in custody. British custody police for 4 days of not the best treatment in the world for someone that's locked up in a police cell 24 hours a day for 4 days. Them wanting to hold me because this country is innocent until proven guilty. Well, in my experience and my opinion is pretty much you're guilty, mate. We're going to get you down the road as soon as bloody possible. It's black and white. If it so shows a picture, it was there, and there was no back reason behind it. There was no reason at all. There was no manipulation or continued phone calls for contact while trying to ignore. Holding my strength together as an addict as best I can. Trying to separate myself from a pit that I had slipped into after a series of unfortunate events, to the point where I used to care for people. I was and am an addict in recovery. 24 hours in a day. Some days I slip, some days I fall. But make note of that and try and make a different plan. Go for a walk or join the gym. I have aches and pains. I'm not in the bestest of shape, but I'm not doing too bad for 53, I don't think. If this case doesn't get me done, because I was arrested, they smashed my door down at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're under arrest for conspiracy to murder. I have no criminal record. I do not indulge in criminal activities, not flagrantly, without respect or care. I respect the law. As much as I am not satisfied as the way that I've been treated in this law, because I was somewhat victimized, I feel, by this person I have no knowledge of, not even his real name until now, because I'm stuck standing next to him in court. With this case coming up 8 to 9 weeks in length, I am an addict. I live with an addict. Sometimes I would slip up. My life went into a bit of turmoil. I was held in duress by somebody who's invaded my home, and I couldn't get rid of him. And the only way he got out is because he got arrested for blackmail in my home, where they also arrested me for blackmail. Then to be arrested for conspiracy to murder. I am not a violent man. I give the shirt off my back. I leave myself broke because I care about people that much, more than I should myself. I have pulled people off the street and say, you can come here, get your shit together. I'll give you time. I will give you moral support. I will not enable you, but I have detoxed so many times in my life that I have no wish or desire to go to a point where I have to go through that pain, discomfort, and ticking of time moving so slow that you feel better off ripping your hair out. Yes, so I'm an addict, always in recovery. I'm not a hopeless addict. I've always been a functional addict. I've gotten lonely. I have nobody to talk to. My own family don't talk to me because they think I'm a wrong'un. I have no criminal record. I'm no thief. I've not stolen. I have had a lot stolen off of me, and not just tens and £20, hundreds of pounds, thousands in a couple of occasions. And I never went after retaliation because I have faith in God and His angels, and I believe in karma and whatever they're deserving of in my place of peace is that in their own time, because heaven doesn't work on a 24-hour clock, not even a 12-month calendar. And if people have a bit of a conscience and they do wrong and they realize they do wrong, and they're looking to fight back, retaliation, they're looking for a fight, a strike, so that they can make the situation worse, they will put themselves in peril. Unknowingly reflecting the image in the mirror when there's no one to reflect it to or direct it to. So in the past, when I've said 99% of the time people are talking about themselves when they're talking, next time you have a conversation, have a listen. Just change a couple of words. Instead of him or who, change it to I, and see how his sentence or her sentences come out with I or him or her. How many times are people trying to pass the buck? How many times are people trying to blame? Being God-fearing, angel-loving, miracle-believing, any harm done against me, I have to accept and then release, but don't. I have made a point on a couple of occasions, and I was always clear about any points. In the past, I would give people lifts as an unpaid cab driver, unlicensed, whatever, just helping supposed friends that had friends that might need a lift every now and then. It's a tenner or whatever. Gives me something to do because gets a little bit wired sometimes, a little bit crazy. But I think I remember saying anytime I give a lift to anyone is, do not call me if you want to use me for some kind of criminal activity. I will give you a lift from a place to a place, not a lift to sit and wait for you and return and get me grafted into some absolute insanity that I have avoided myself from being around. I do not know any of these types. I do not like to associate with these people. I go through physical pains and I get denied by the doctor. So I fall into weakness. Street drugs, a bit of heroin on a pipe, relieve my pains for just a little while, and not abused, just to relieve the pains. That was my excuse at the time, not saying it was the right way to go. Obviously, I see now it wasn't, but I was lost in my own misery at the time. I had this fella that came and knocked on my door, telling me he's suicidal, he's gonna kill himself, blah, 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 blah. His narcissistic way of fucking inviting himself into my home. And very quickly, he puts on my slippers. He wears my clothes. He sleeps in my bed. Me being in such depressed state that I was in at the time because of life feel like a ghost at times, and that was the only attention I was given by this fucking narcissistic, self-loving, selfish person that tried to blackmail his own bloody mother. And he invited himself into my home, and I told him to leave almost every day, and he didn't. And the only reason why he did end up leaving is because the police came to my door. And it's funny because these people that invite themselves into my home always seem to have the police coming here looking for them too. Never coming here for me. Never for me. So I used to have one caring bone in my body. Now I don't give a fuck. You got a problem? It's not my job to fucking help you. I've seen your type. This fucking world is a scam. And social media is filled with scammers. Thousands, lost thousands. And I'm still living, I'm still breathing. I'm not holding on to hate. I don't want to hurt anyone or destroy anything. It was my mistake for being a fool. Fool that had a heart. Fool that threw away a perfectly good 6-year relationship. Because I didn't want to be associated with or being told someone who's greedy, because her mother had passed away and she was left the house with her brothers and she came into a little bit of money, and I didn't want to be looked at like I was sponging off of her. So I told her that I didn't love her anymore. To give her the opportunity to be happy with someone other than me who's not worthy. She deserves someone better than me. So I had to let her go. I've got my cats. I've got a shitload of trauma. I've got nightmares, restless nights, waking up, sweating, in fear. I think I'd just fallen off a cliff, crashed a car, flown a plane into a fucking mountain, lost limbs. Night terrors, nightmares, a wish for a pleasant dream, maybe one day or two. the opportunity for happiness in my life, this actual me not throwing away everything good in my life, which I guess is somewhat of a habit too. Like I'm not deserving of something good, so I'm going to find a way to self-destruct. And one of these days, I might just self-destruct the whole of me and I'll be gone forever. And I don't think anyone would come to my funeral because nobody talks to me. I am a ghost. I may as well be AI because you'll never see me in real life. I drift around, a soul lost and found. Maybe died once or twice, but brought back a day or two later. I guess my fate is not complete yet. But I am an addict, and addicts do punish themselves a lot more than any other person could do to you or me. Some of us hold so much remorse. Some of us hold so much guilt for stuff that really we shouldn't even be guilty for. It's not any upside down situation that I've had to fight my way out of was not because I willingly jumped into it and say, let's go for a swim. Just throw me in the bin. My brother asked me, he's like, well, you know, if you drop off, whatever, you die one day, what do you want done with your body? And this is how I feel about myself. Throw me in the dumpster. I won't be missed by anyone. Barely be noticed. Almost like people are waiting, willing, making bets on when that time of expiry will come to pass. And all the shit that I've been through, even in my own mind for the past year, maybe before that, from the torment I get from people that have nothing but want to come and take everything from someone that has nothing, thinking that they have something, but there's no evidence or proof that I have anything. And I don't care about having things, because a breath is more valuable than any big screen TV. A smile at someone with a frown can give someone a crown. To notice the unnoticed, to give a little hope into something that has all the hope thrown away, ignored, blanked. These things had happened to me. I've been here but not here, and the only conversations were, well, you did that. Like, not how's life, how's things, what have you been up to? No, you need to stop being around evil people. Like, what do you think I am around? Do you think people are at my house every day? I live a very private, personal life. I do not talk to people for maybe weeks at a time. And then a couple of people I have short conversations with when I need to let things out. Everyone that I've given time and space and a little bit of faith and hope into has taken it, chewed it up, spat it out, and then asked for more. to the point where someone would potentially use me and my kindness and my temptation, given temptation, and my weak will to temptation, to do something truly dishonest and evil and make no word of it. And how does someone do something so evil and just keep quiet like it was delivering a parcel? The first thing I know is my door being smashed down at 8:30 in the morning. You're under arrest for conspiracy to murder. Done talking for today. Sorry. That's it.